Hi, I'm Nancy Linneruth with unblockresults.com and Happy New Year! Hey, it's 2021. We made it. Thank heavens. And here we are. I wanted to talk to you about what's going on with New Year's resolutions. Because now's the time. Now's the time for us all to be making our New Year's resolutions, whether in your personal life, where you might want to resolve to, I don't know, what's the top one is always to lose weight or exercise or spend more time with your family or spend less money. Or if you're a business owner, it might look like something like finishing that training that you bought or create that online course you've been meaning to create, write your book, network more, whatever it is that's going to grow your business and take it to the next level. So you make this resolution, you start out strong, but research shows that sometime in February, at least by mid-February, around 80% of us have given up on our resolutions. 80%? Why? Well, there's a lot of theories out there. You can go Google them if you want. But my experience, both personally and with my clients, is that our resolutions go south when they come up against something in our subconscious. Our subconscious will block whatever it is we want to accomplish. And no amount of willpower can push through that subconscious for long. Anyway, you can do it for a while, but then it's just too much. The kind of effort it takes to fight your subconscious and go against it ends up wearing you down until you just give up. Um, so that that's what I've seen over and over again. And the types of blocks I've seen in the subconscious can be things like having a belief, subconscious, not necessarily logical, not necessarily rational, but a subconscious belief that you need to do something or to avoid doing something to keep yourself safe. So I had a client who was not finishing her book. She had a big plan. She was going to finish the book, get it out there, and that was going to launch her into going around the world, speaking from the stage and changing people's lives. It was a big purpose in her life. She felt her whole life had been leading up to it. And she wasn't doing the book. She wasn't writing it. She was getting a lot of laundry done, as I recall. she would do everything to avoid writing the book, and it didn't make any sense to her. So we got started. We went looking. What came up was she had a fear, a subconscious fear, that if she were up on stage, she would be physically attacked. And she knew logically, rationally, that made no sense. She knew it wasn't going to happen, and yet she still felt this fear. It was really strong, and it surprised her. So we tapped on it and we released that so that she could go ahead and finish the book and then get out there with it. So that would be a belief that you need to avoid doing something to stay safe. When your subconscious has that belief, it will stop you in your tracks. Another type of subconscious block I've seen is where you've taken in others' expectations of you. So let me just give you an example so you understand what this is. I had a client who was sabotaging her own business. She was giving away too much for free. She wasn't sending out invoices. She was undercharging. She just was not making enough money. And over again, her mother would need to come in and bail her out with a check here or with a payment there. And when we went looking to see what was going on, what came up was that she was the youngest, and she had grown up with the expectation around her of her siblings and their parents that she was going to be the screw up, the one who always needed to be saved. Now, I'm not going to say that was true. I don't know. She didn't know. It quite often we internalize these beliefs that we think other people have of us from when we're younger, and then as we grow up, we grow out of them logically, rationally, but they're still there. It is possible that it was an expectation of others that she be the screw up and she was living down to their expectations. But it's also possible she just internalized this belief from when she was young and she wasn't as quick as the others and to learn to ride her bike or whatever it was. And she'd internalized the belief, oh, I'm a screw up, that they don't think I can do it. And that was outdated. but it's in the subconscious where it's going to be working. So we tapped to release that so she could get on with it and go live up to her potential. Sort of a related way that a subconscious block can show up is as how you see yourself. So if you think about it, if you see yourself as overweight, it's really hard to exercise and eat right and diet and lose the weight and keep it off. Some part of you says, oh, that's not who I am. And you eat and you don't exercise and all that stuff. Okay. Well, now you can see how that might also work in the business world. Because, okay, another example. I had a woman who, I think I've talked about her before. She had a property management business, and she kept finding that she was not following up on the opportunities she had. And so business would just slip through her fingers. And she was doing okay, but she was nowhere near where she could have been. And she's like, what is going on? So when we went looking, what came up was that she saw herself as a starving artist. And this went back to the days, just out of college in the early 20s, where she was living with a bunch of other starving artists, and they were struggling, but it was very vibrant community, and they were, being the artists and living their art. And that's how she always saw herself, as an artist. But her mind had connected, her subconscious had connected being an artist with that struggle. And so she was an artist, she had to be struggling. So she makes a bit of money in her business, and that part of her would shut it down so that she had to constantly be struggling to make more with her business. Even though logically, rationally, she knew that if her business was doing great, she could actually bring in people to run the business, and she would have much more time and money to put into her art, where she could really step into more of the artist who she already was. That was logical, that was rational, that was not running the show. It was the subconscious starving artist view that was running the show. So we had to tap and release that. So what do you do if you've got something that's keeping you from following through on your own resolutions? Well, the fastest change is like I've been describing here. You want to find that subconscious block, and then you want to tap and release it so you can put in the rational, logical, what you really want in place and follow through on that. Now, if you don't know how to tap for yourself in this way, or you don't have a tapping practitioner to work with, then there's something you can do that might help. I think it will eventually help. It's just not going to be as fast. What happens is you set up a daily practice for yourself with your resolution. So you take your resolution, you visualize yourself taking whatever action you resolve to take, and getting the results that you would see getting from taking that action. You visualize both the action and the results while tapping, and I'm showing you some tapping points to use, okay? While tapping, you visualize doing the actions and getting what you want, getting the results. I would say do it like 5 minutes a day, preferably in the morning, but whenever you can fit it in. 5 minutes is a minimum. You might want to do more. What's going to happen as you're tapping on this visualization of taking the action and getting what you want is you're going to whittle away with the tapping that underlying negative, the fear of, uh-oh, what will happen if, or the limiting belief, the how you see yourself that's preventing you from doing that. You're going to start whittling it away with the tapping. And that is going to get you to ultimately have it easier to take that action, follow through on your resolution to create this new you or the new business that you really want to have. Okay? That would be my recommendation for the resolutions that don't seem you don't seem able to finish, to follow through on them. Or if you've given up on resolutions, I would try it with this. Try again. I mean, I gave up on them for a few years. And what I found is with tapping, now I can do it. I can set a resolution and follow through. Sometimes it's harder than others, but now I know what's going on. And with the tapping, I can get through. So if you want to talk to me some about this or ask me questions, that's great. Just direct message me here on Facebook or email me at nancy@unblockresults.com. I always like to talk about tapping and what it can do. So that's it for today. I wish you a very happy new year and happy tapping. Bye.